Evening, y'all. Chief Prepper here. I'm going to talk to you about a couple things. So if you look right there, that's one of the generators I have. That's my big generator. This is a smaller generator, 30 amp drop, 50 amp drop. This one would probably struggle with a 30 amp pull, even though it's got a drop for it. Those are owners and operator manuals for those two generators. I do not have a manual for the Honda, and I do not have a manual for my older generator that seems to do a better job on handling 30 amps and not burning as much fuel. Why am I talking to you about this? When you buy your generator, if you buy one new, you're going to get this paperwork. You need to keep it. You need to keep track of where it is. And you're going to say, why is that, Chief Prepper? Well, it has information in it that you're going to need. So for those two generators, the place, I did a video months back now saying that the place that I normally use for small engine repair parts could not give me tune-up kits for these two generators. In addition to that, my old generator that I've had since 2006, used it maybe 6 times. No, 4 times. I loaned it to somebody, and he changed the oil on it, and he gave it back during the tornado in Enterprise that wreaked havoc there. And then after that, I never used it. And then the last time I used it was the freeze of 21, and after going through that shit, I wanted to have more power if I wanted it. So the Honda 2200i Companion and the older generator, and these two, well, the Honda I got tune-up. All the generators have tune-up kits on hand now, but the Honda I got from Parts Tree, based in Austin, and then the older generator, the workaround to not having the owner's manual to at least find out what spark plug you need is pull the plug, and if you can read the part number, then you can look it up and cross-reference it. Alright, so that's what I did with the older generator, and these two I had to actually I actually got on all of them from Amazon, so those are on hand. So, but the important part is keep track of your fucking manuals, because you're going to need them. Matter of fact, what I would tell you is, if you buy a generator brand new, other than taking it out of the box, putting oil in it, because they don't come with oil in them, they come with oil you put in them. Also, save the original oil can, because that will allow you to do a better job of changing, when you change the oil, to fill it back up with the proper amount. Because the original oil can, for whatever reason, they make these fucking generators with oddball size oil. It's not like a quart. It's like 0.9 or 1.1 or some weird shit like 0.6. So save the original can and then mark it for the generator it's for. And then when you change the oil, you can use that can to do a better job on filling it back up. But always check your oil. All right. So here's the thing. I'm pretty sure I did a video on this a long time ago. There's a wood box right there. What I have been doing in the past, as there was a window AC in that goes in that hole right there. That is, I'm going to cover that hole tomorrow. I already have a new AC unit to go in there. That is my fireplace that I use in the wintertime that I absolutely love. And the window AC that goes in there works really good, but the air blows straight out the back of the air conditioner, and the fireplace, the air vents, but it vents poorly, because the air is going straight to the back of the fireplace, and the fireplace, then when the fireplace fills up, it pushes it up the chimney. But so the new one I have has, I think, a 6 or an 8-inch flexible tube. That hole is going to get plugged tomorrow, and then I'll set up the new air conditioner, and then I'm going to try like hell to figure out a way to hang the hose so that it's angled up and out of the fireplace. So, and then the window AC that was in that hole, I think because my dad's room that he's staying in might get too hot this summer, I'm either going to take it out and put the one that I got in there out of here, because the one that's in there is bigger, and he don't like cold temperatures anyway. But either way, there's going to be an air conditioner on the back porch along with a wood burning stove. So possibly here in a couple weeks I'll go get the first half cord of firewood, which will be May, and then another one in June, July, and August, and that'll give me 2 cords on hand. Plus I have close to a cord and a half already, so that'll give me plenty, and then I'll have firewood stacked in the event an emergency happens. So but Tara keeps harping on people. She calls it being stupid, but I would tell you, listen to her advice, but you need to live a little now while you can, because I think when whatever's coming gets here, going out to eat's going to stop. Driving is going to stop. Those are the 2 things that I hated when I was in Iraq, because I wasn't allowed to drive. And then we had a dining facility with really good food, but after eating the same shit, every Monday was one thing, every Tuesday was one thing, for a year. It don't matter how good it is, you're like, fuck that. So I had lots of ramen. So the lack of food choices and driving will go away. I got the tire changed on my wife's Fat Boy, or not her Fat Boy, her V-Rod. So the one thing I have left to do is the tires for the trailer. I'm just going to get new tires for the 2 that are on it, and then a spare. I've got to get a tail light for it, and then I've got to go down to DMV and take the registration and the remnants of the plate and request a new license plate for it. It cost me like $25, I think. And then that'll round out most of the tires or tire issues. I got a full-size tire for my 1-ton. That's done. Only thing I need to do is put it on, test it, make sure it's not going to shake the truck. So yeah, continue prepping. And then I'm about 98% sure I'm going to let go of my 21 Challenger. Put the money in the bank for a couple, 3 weeks. I might wait. I might not do it next week, but the following week. And then by the time June 1st gets here, I'll be up in Abilene, and then I got 2 plots of land I'm going to look at. So one of them is more remote than the other, I think. But I think somebody had an airplane in the Quonset hut that's on the property, and I don't think there's any water. So anyway, if it's water that comes from the city, I'm not that interested in it, because it'll stop if things go the way they may go. So the only problem with my plan is Abilene is 5 hours away with good traffic. So that would mean that within 48 hours of whatever's going to happen, if it happens, then me and the wife will have to get the fuck out of here. So carry what we can, which means during the summer I will be working my ass off to build some kind of small hut, so to speak. So, and right now I'm sitting here thinking that I might make it an elevated hut so that there's parking underneath, that the vehicle we have will be protected. So if you ever go down to the beach areas, a lot of the houses down there are elevated, and then but it is what it is. Get the prepping, folks. I that's all I can say, I guess. I need to get in. By the way, there's one other thing. I have a rake that I've had for years. The handle broke on it. I got to find a handle for it. And then the hoe that I was using in the garden, it broke at the end. So one of the other preps you might want to consider getting is getting you some wood handles for everything, and just stick them somewhere where they'll stay out of the rain. The rain tends to rot the wood. Other than that, handles for your hammers, and then if you've got one that's in bad shape, maybe replace it so you get an idea. Watch some videos about it. It's not they're not plug and play. They make them generically, and then you got to shave them down to fit the hammerhead you're going to use. All right. So debating on, because of the way weather works in Texas, even though we got threat of severe thunderstorms and tornadoes and shit tonight, and thunderstorms. There's nothing going on right now. I've got a brush pile that I need to burn. It's the 4th one this year. So I have 7 to 9 trees on the property, 0.63 acres, and I'm on the 4th brush pile. And I have more shit that I need to cut. So that should tell you something, all right? And then I cut up a bunch of stuff that was laying around for, one pile was laying around for a couple, 3 years, and the second pile was laying around for a year, year and a half. That's what all the kindling is on the one end of the firewood. I got rats in the area because I went to open the lawnmower hood to put gas in it, and there was a fat ass rat sitting in there on top of the fucking engine, and he hopped down and hauled ass. So the cat that I have in the area is failing miserably at its fucking job, and so are the rat snakes that I have. So what else? College campus issues, fuck them, arrest them, throw them in jail, don't let them out. And if they keep coming back, take the beat down, beat them down and make them fucking regret doing what they're doing. So all they are is terrorist sympathizers, because that's what Hamas and Gaza Strip is. So they say, well, they're not. Well, they elected Hamas, and Hamas is, well, you figure it out. So you want to support that kind of shit, take the beat down that goes with it. One other thing. These dummies down here in San Antonio, if you heard the news of a shootout in the Market Square, the kid that got shot and killed was a fucking straight up shitbag. Was out on $35,000 bond from jail from committing criminal acts. And he was a good boy. Such a good boy that they can't afford to bury him. Try to start up a GoFundMe page and a fucking having a plate sale and all this other shit. Pictures of him on Facebook holding his guns. So here's some advice to you fools. You live a gangster's life, you're gonna die a gangster's death. One other thing to piss off the liberals and Democrats. All the fucking poor people, regardless of color, but I seem to see more brown people and black people down in this part of Texas that are poor. You keep voting in the fucking Democrats, and they keep giving you the fucking crumbs that drop on the floor from the sandwich that they're eating, when you could have the whole fucking sandwich if you got an education and you got a job, and you had a career, got married, stayed married, and didn't go out and just fucking make babies. Alright? You vote in the Democrats, they give you the crumbs that fall on the floor, and not instead of the whole sandwich. They promise they're going to make things better. Shit never gets better. Every single fucking large city in America is a Democratic stronghold, and they shit all over you, and you keep voting for the motherfuckers. So you get what you fucking deserve. Figure it out. Democrats have no interest in lifting you up out of poverty, because if you get up out of poverty, you don't tend to vote Democrat, and you don't tend to stay in those places. Now, the East and West Coast is full of a bunch of dumbasses that live out there because, you know what? That's where they live. I know people when I was in the Army that when they got off the plane at basic training, they had never been out of the county they had been born into. And that's fine if that's how you want to live. And if you want to live on the East or the West Coast, that's fine. But if you want change, you need to quit voting Democrat. Bottom line. Quit voting for them. Quit believing the lies they tell you. Alright? Just like they brainwashed most of the women in America to hate Trump. You know, they brainwashed you into believing that they have your best interest at heart. And they could give two shits about you. All you are is a number to keep them in office and in power. So, anyway, I rambled on enough. Probably said some shit people won't like, but that's life. Information is knowledge and power. It's my opinion, and I'm allowed to have it. Live a little, prep a lot, and share the love when you can. Chief Prepper, out.